When to use fancy words. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to English with Billy. Today, I want to talk a little more about something simple but powerful. The words we choose when we speak or write. Now, you might think, Billy, isn't choosing words easy? I just pick the words I know. But let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I had a friend who loved to use fancy words. Whenever we talked about serious topics, politics, science, or even sports, he would drop big words like stochastic or prior instead of just saying random or assumption. The rest of us were often confused, and we sometimes felt left out of the conversation. Later, though, I realized something interesting. My friend wasn't trying to confuse us. He used those fancy words because they added special meaning. When he said prior, it didn't just mean assumption. It meant a belief based on past experience or knowledge. Suddenly, I understood. He was saying, I have a belief that is shaped by evidence I've seen before. That was different from saying, I have a guess. One small word can carry a lot of extra information. We all want to communicate clearly. Sometimes simple words are the best choice. For example, if you're telling a friend how to bake a cake, you don't need complicated vocabulary. But other times, we want to show that we have thought deeply about a topic. Maybe we're writing an essay or sharing an opinion about something serious, like an upcoming election. Using a more precise word, like prior, can be a signal. I've studied this. I want you to know I've looked at some facts. That signal can change the way people see our writing or speech. I remember a time when I tried using a fancy word without knowing its true meaning. I was at a dinner with coworkers, and I said, I believe our sales next quarter will be stochastic. Silence. Everyone stared at me. Finally, my manager asked, Do you mean random? I nodded, and we all laughed. I realized I had used stochastic just to sound smart, but I didn't fully understand it. That day, I learned the danger of fancy words if I don't know how to use them well. So, when are fancy words helpful? They give extra information. Using a special term like prior or stochastic can explain your thoughts more precisely. They show your background. If you have studied a certain subject, you might feel comfortable with specific words. This can help you connect with people who share your interests. They can invite debate or discussion. Sometimes a more advanced word sparks curiosity. People might ask, Why do you believe that? Or, How did you reach that conclusion? When are simple words better? Wider audience. If you want many people to understand you, maybe you are writing a blog post for beginners, simple words can be more welcoming. Less confusion. Fancy words can slow people down. You don't want to lose your listeners because they're stuck on a term they've never heard. Time and place. If you're talking to your grandmother who doesn't read about statistics every day, you might want to use common words so she feels included. It's a balancing act, a bit like cooking. Too much spice can ruin a dish, but the right amount can make it amazing. Using fancy words is the same. Sometimes they add flavor. Sometimes they overwhelm the listener. Always think, who is my audience? And what am I trying to say? Answering these questions helps you decide if a simple word or a more advanced one is best. in my own life, I try to use words that communicate exactly what I mean. If I need a fancy word, I'll use it. If I don't, I won't. It's all about clarity, connection, and respect for my listeners. After all, language is a bridge to understanding, not a wall to hide behind. That's all for today, friends. Thanks for tuning in to English with Billy. Remember, sometimes the simplest word is perfect, and sometimes you need just the right fancy term. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep sharing your ideas with the world.